All right, we're on. Okay, ready, Bo?
Yeah, sure. Can get started. Let me share. Can someone enable screen sharing? Sorry.
Yes, let me do that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You should be able to do that.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is Intro to Firebase. I'm Bo, and we also have Tristy.
Hey.
All right, so quick introductions, I guess. I'm a sophomore CS major here at UT. Yeah, I'm from Austin. I don't know what else. I think that's
You're the corporate organizer.
Oh, right. I am part of the corporate team here at Freetail. So, yeah.
Hey, everyone. I'm Tristy. I'm also a sophomore CS major here at UT. I am also the corporate director for Freetail Hackers, and we're super excited that all of you are here and hope you guys learned something from today.
Yeah, so some of you guys might be asking, what is Firebase? So basically, it's just a service or a backend framework created by Google that aims to make application and web development easier for all of us. So it's a really cool tool because it allows you to do a bunch of stuff, like obviously hosting your web app, but also it has some really cool features for database stuff, analytics. It gives you a bunch of cloud storage you can use, and it also adds some security and authentication features.
Yeah, and like to even go more in depth on it, like let's say you attended, or we're gonna have an app dev workshop later in the evening, and that's gonna be focused more on front end, which when we're deciding, just like designing an app or a website, that essentially means what the people are seeing on the front end, so like the design and like the buttons and stuff. But on the back end, you have things like databasing and analytics and storage, and like how the app comes together so that everything works in a proper way. If you don't want to code that, then Firebase is this really cool tool made by Google that handles everything for you. And today we're just going to like learn the basics of that so that if you want to make a web app or an app sometime in the future, even tomorrow, you can have a backend ready and not even worry about doing a lot of these nitpicky things. And authentication, for those of you who don't know, that's just like your Google authentication or like, like Facebook logins or something. It's just a credential to make sure that every user is a valid user on this server or something, and then security is also something big. So yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll just kind of jump into it. So there's like four main steps that we're gonna do to kind of get started with your first project on Firebase. So that's gonna be creating your project on Firebase, and then you'll need to install the Firebase command line interface, which sounds probably a little bit scary, but I promise it's actually really easy, and yeah, don't worry about it. And then we're going to initialize our project on our local machine and deploy our app.
Yeah, and we're going to do all of the installation and everything walk through right now. So you really don't have to worry about being behind or not knowing the technology that you need for this workshop.
Yep. All right, so the first step, just go to the Firebase console. You can just look up Firebase on Google, or yeah, I guess that's probably the easiest way. So go to the Firebase website and then sign in with your Google account. And then you'll see like this tab here where it says like your Firebase projects, and then just press add project, and then we can kind of get started.
Let us know whenever you guys have it there. Or are you going to pull it up right now?
Yeah, I'll just like kind of do the steps at the same time just so everyone can.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I have the Firebase console pulled up here, and these are some past projects. So you can just press like add project, and then enter a name. So we'll just do like Firebase. And then you don't really need Google Analytics, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, we're gonna turn Google Analytics off.
Just to overview what Google Analytics is if people go on your website or your app and you want to know who's going on there, how many times a page is being seen, all of those analytics are like done by Firebase. While we're waiting, do any of you have any questions or anything that you're stuck on so far?
Yeah, just let us know if you ever get stuck or you need help with any of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hopefully you guys are kind of able to get to this point where your project was created. I guess I can wait like 30 seconds just for everyone to catch up, maybe.
For any of you following along, if you guys could tell us that you're at this stage and you're ready to go on, it would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm ready, but I did notice too, I don't think you can create a project with a UT Google account.
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, but I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay, we have multiple people ready.
Okay, cool. So we're just gonna get started with the basic web app. You can also use Firebase for iOS and Android apps, but it's a little bit more complicated, I guess, and we're not gonna get too deep into that. So just click the little like HTML tag web button, and then register your app. So we'll just I don't know, name this workshop. Then check allow set up Firebase hosting for this app, which will kind of give us like a website URL to host our web app on. So this one looks fine, I guess. I don't know, this is just like the default one, so should be okay.
The default's usually fine. Mm-hmm.
So this is the Firebase SDK, and it like provides some libraries for you to use, but you technically don't actually need this if we're just doing some basic stuff. So we can move on to installing the Firebase CLI. Okay, so the instructions for installing the CLI are actually gonna, I think, vary a little bit depending on your operating system and your current environment. So I'm gonna send a link in the Zoom chat that kind of tells you how to install the Firebase CLI depending on if you're on Windows or Mac. But in my case, in my case, I'm gonna walk through the Windows one, I guess, or we can see it running this command in
Can you share the terminal?
yes.
And show how to get to the terminal as well. Also, while Bo's setting all that up, we skipped over the SDK part because right now we're making a basic web app. But in terms of like using all of if you wanted to use multiple things from Firebase, like the analytics, the storage feature, the database feature, whatever, you would have to use the database or the SDK to kind of connect the two so that the app knows that, oh, you have a registered Firebase account, and then Firebase knows which app you're connecting it to. It's kind of just like a simple thing. And if you need more help on that, you can always message us on Discord or find more documentation online.
Yeah, so right here on the right, I have the page telling you kind of how to set up the Firebase CLI depending on your OS. If you're on Windows, I would honestly just recommend doing the standalone binary. So here it says like download the Firebase CLI binary. And if you do that, like it'll download the exe for you. And then you can kind of just run it. Yeah, so like I just did it really quick. That's probably the simplest way if you're on Windows. And then for Mac OS or Linux, yeah, I guess just choose whatever you're most comfortable with. Any of these should work okay.
Is everybody able to follow along? Yeah, sorry, Bob, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like Tristy was saying, you can just type CMD or command prompt. But actually, yeah, Amy, so should be able to just click or double click on it, and it should kind of open and show you this kind of welcome to Firebase screen. Firebase Tools. Actually not sure what the Firebase tools you're referring to are. If step 3.
We love Apple.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing. I got a message like that too here on Windows. I think there should be like some option to kind of just run it anyways, or I think like you might have to like right click on the app and then like click open, and then it gives you like the option to run it anyways or something like that. If that doesn't work, you can also try the other install options here.
To answer Kritika's questions, I don't think we need the Firebase tools right now. I think those just refer to like the other like Firebase things you can do with it. So like we were saying, like cloud, security, authentication, all of that stuff, which I don't think we'll be needing today.
Yeah, I think that might be referring to the Firebase SDK.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay if you don't have that for the basic Firebase use.
Okay, I think we're ready to go on.
Okay. Yeah, so if everyone's ready, just open up your command line interface. So it's going to be, either the standalone binary that you installed, or if you installed it this way, like with like the script. Yeah, let me know if you can't get the CLI open, but if you have the CLI open, then we can just go ahead and type in Firebase login. For me, I'm already logged in, but for you guys, like it should pull up a browser window that asks you to sign into your Google account. So just go ahead and do that.
And like Max said before, don't use your utexes. Use whatever personal ID email you used for the Firebase account and like initially.
Yep. Yeah, just use whichever one you just made your Firebase account with.
Let us know if you're stuck or anything, and or like need us to re-explain something, we'll also go back and do that. I think we can go on to the init now.
Cool. So once you guys get logged in, we can basically create our project and get initialized. So like, I guess this is like gonna be some like, okay, well, this is just all my stuff. It's gonna want to make it in your, oh, okay, I'm in my downloads folder, but it's fine. We can just make a project like wherever the default path is, I guess. So if you guys just run, or maybe we should make a directory first. So we can do like MK.
What's a directory?
Right. So a directory just means it's like a fancy way of saying folder, but we're programmers, so we have to say directory for some reason. But it's just saying basically like where do you want to create your new Firebase project. So yeah, I guess the easiest way to do this, we should probably make a directory here. We can just call it Firebase workshop or something like that.
The command is mkdir and then the name of your like folder essentially.
Yeah, so just type in this command right here, mkdir. It stands for make directory. And then Firebase Workshop is just going to be the name of the folder that we're putting all of our files in. And I think that's the same on Windows, Mac, and Linux, right? Okay, sure. Okay, hopefully.
We're just gonna say yes for now.
Okay, and now after that, we can just cd. So cd is change directory. Basically, it just means we're gonna go like into the folder because we want to make our project like inside the folder and not like outside. So we're gonna do cd and then the name of the directory you just made.
If you also start typing the name of the folder and then do tab, it should autocomplete for you.
Yep. Okay, so once you're in there, it honestly doesn't really matter if where you are. It's just like if if you don't know exactly where your project is located, it might be a little bit hard to figure out like where your files are in the future. But like you can always go back and configure that later as well. Okay, so once you're in your desired folder, you can just type Firebase init. And then type Y to proceed. And then just press enter, I guess, because, well. Okay, select hosting. I don't think it really matters technically. But yeah, select hosting and then just press enter. And then we'll select use an existing project. And then select Firebase Workshop. By the way, I'm using the up and down arrows to select options here. I don't know if that's the same for everyone, but. Yeah, so it'll ask you some questions, but you should be able to just press enter and it'll use all the default options. Okay, here you have to type.
Yes.
You can just type yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you make your terminal screen bigger?
Yes. Or
there we go.
Do you want me to like zoom in somehow, I guess? I don't know how to zoom in.
If you, no, don't worry about it. Just bigger is fine.
Okay. And then no for the GitHub stuff. We don't need that. And then yeah, we should be good.
Okay, is everyone good up until this point? Yeah, Max is good. Everyone else? Yep, Manish is good. All right, awesome. It seems people are able to follow along. Cool, let's go. We appreciate the support, Amy.
All right, so once you guys have that set up, then you can, so this is the Firebase console that we pulled up earlier. So once we deploy our site, we should be able to see it on here. And I think, I'm just trying to remember to go to dashboard or like somewhere it shows the link. Oh, actually just press hosting probably. So we go to the hosting tab, get started. Oh, okay, I guess we have to deploy first. All right, so yeah, so now we're ready to kind of make our app and then deploy it. So what you guys can do is just wherever your Firebase project is located, you can just go to like, I guess like find it here. Wait, or I guess I can just, how should I do this? So, hold on. Okay, so in here we have our wait, hold on, give me a sec. This is kind of confusing. So have downloads. Okay, so for me, I just pulled up my Windows Explorer thing, and you can see my project is here in Downloads Firebase Workshop. So if you need help remembering where your project is located, you can just type dir, dir in the CLI tool, and it'll tell you where your project is located, and then just I guess navigate to that location in like your file browser or whatever, and then once you're in here, you'll see you already have an index.html page. So this is going to be your our web page that we're going to modify. So everyone should have some kind of structure like this. So I guess since we already have an index.html page like this, this is just like the default Firebase one that they provide you with. So we're actually ready to go back to our CLI, and you can just type Firebase Deploy.
You got the URL?
Yeah, so yeah, you'll see down here, after you type Firebase Deploy, it'll tell you what URL your website is going to be hosted at, and also links you to the console that we were looking at earlier. So you can just copy the hosting URL into your web browser, and you can see like, woo, that's our site right there.
Congrats, guys. You guys hosted your first website on a Firebase server.
Yeah. All right. So does anyone need help getting to this point? I think we're all good, probably.
I think that everyone's been okay, yeah.
Okay, cool. So now like that's kind of like the extent of hosting something on Firebase. Super simple. You can just repeat this process for whatever apps you guys build in the future. But like, so now I'm just gonna quickly show you. So like if we were to, obviously like if you're making a web app, you're gonna make lots of changes to your HTML files and CSS and so on. So what you would do is, here, I'm gonna open up VS Code, and
if you don't have VS Code or have any other text editor, that's also fine. Or you can even use Notepad.
Yeah, actually, I'll just show it in Notepad for simplicity's sake. So you can go and edit your HTML file by opening it. With Notepad. So you can see
coding
here.
on Notepad.
Yeah, we have our web app right here. So here we can write something super simple, and okay, like I already have a thing here, but like we can just delete all of this because it's just default Firebase stuff. So let's write a quick HTML file. It's going to be doc type HTML. Don't worry too much if you're not too familiar with like HTML stuff, I guess. It's something like as you work on web apps more, you'll kind of get the hang of.
But if you do want to know how to do it, at 4 p.m. we have a web app web dev workshop that is going to go on to the next part of this workshop. So making the
Yes.
HTML site.
Yes, absolutely. Make sure to check that out if you are interested in web dev.
And then if you're interested in mobile dev, it's the one after that. So we got you covered, guys.
Yeah, but basically, HTML tag here. Technically, I don't think you need language equals English, but so you can start off with something like, super basic, like if you just put, hello world here, and we can save. So this is our new our new web page. So once we have that, we can so basically, let's just say you have your web app and you make a bunch of changes, and now you want to see your changes deployed and view your website again with the updated stuff, right? So then what you would do is go back to your Firebase CLI and you just type Firebase Deploy again. And then, yeah, still the same URL. This is your website's permanent URL now. If you have your own domain and stuff, you can configure it within Firebase to use that instead. But like this is really nice because it's just like a free domain for you guys. For any of your web apps, you can just go ahead and use the default one if you wanted to. But yeah, so now if we go to our URL again, you can see like the changes propagated. So, woo.
Guys, I think it's a proud moment. You made your first website on Firebase and you did Hello World, so your first web page, if it's your first web page.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's kind of the basics. I mean, all of your project files are going to be like in this public directory right here. So if we wanted to, we can make a new file. Like this can be our CSS files. We can have like style.css. And then, for example, what we can do here is put this in the body. Here I have a class. So this is like a CSS thing. So class equals full screen means that, I mean, basically that it's intended for full screen content, but basically there's gonna be a .full screen thing in your style.css, which is basically gonna tell the web page to give all of these style elements to anything in your HTML file that has the class full screen. So if you do something like this, and then you can create a div. Yeah, something like that, and then yeah, we can make this a title. Each one means heading, so it's like gonna be in like big font, and like yeah. I'm gonna close the body tag.
And don't stress too much if you like don't understand every part of that code. Essentially, it's just like syntax for HTML. Really just like breaking up how you're going to do the page.
Yeah, I'm just demonstrating how to I guess like how you might have it set up with multiple like HTML files and CSS files. They're all going to go in here. Yeah, don't worry about this too much. Like it's just HTML stuff. Like honestly, I don't really understand what I'm doing in HTML either. So
Wait till you get to JavaScript, then you'll cry.
yeah. So we can like edit, you know, whatever files. So like this is our CSS file. If we open with Notepad, and then yeah, I'm just gonna copy this.
Nice.
But this is just saying for HTML stuff, dot full screen means anything with the full screen class, we're gonna apply these parameters to. And this is just like, all this is doing is making our website look a little bit nicer. And then like container title. Okay, so like now that I have my style CSS updated, now I can do Firebase Deploy again. And then if we go here, woo, you can see it's like nice and bold and fancy font and everything now. So yeah.
I think that's like pretty much the premise and the basis of Firebase for today. So you like learned how to like create a project, host a project, kind of deploy it, and then how you can like update it with Firebase. So obviously like this hello world is like your front end. So what users see, what we see on like the front, right? And on the back end, you have Firebase that's hosting the server, the domain, all of that. You don't have to even worry about it, right? You just like hosted it, deployed the app, and now you're pretty much have a first app done.
Yep. And feel free to check out all of the different things within the Firebase console. Like there's a ton of stuff that, you know, we didn't go over because honestly, like I'm not super familiar with like 99% of the features that Firebase offers.
But if you do have questions, you can drop it in the Discord channel. I personally work with like the authentication, the Firestore, like the database parts. So Bo and I can both help you out. And then there's also mentors available. You can also look at a docs. Is this website only viewable on our local computer?
No, it should be viewable to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can try the one I was just on. Like, if you guys want to try typing in this URL, I'll actually just paste it in
Yeah, because the difference between like hosting a local, wait, can you do it with the HTTPS?
Yeah. There we go.
So
yeah, you should be able to, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying like, yeah, so if you click on this link, you should be able to see the app. And like you can try it from, you know, if you want to try like accessing it from your phone or something like that to verify that, you know, it's being hosted properly. Yeah, you can do that as well.
I agree, Amy. See, the difference is when you do like a normal web app tutorial or first web app, you're doing it on localhost. So that's only from your local computer. But because you did it with Firebase, now it's like publicly available, right? So pretty easy, and you got a free domain. So you don't have to pay like $12 a year for a domain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is great for hackathons and stuff because like you don't have to worry about, oh, like how do I get like a domain and configure everything and so on.
Not just hackathons, like I use this personally for my internship. So companies actively use it as well if they want to abstract some of the things in the back end and like not code it. Why reinvent the wheel when it's already been invented, right? So kind of just the same kind of logic. But yeah, does anybody have any questions? If you could delete a state from the map of the country, which one would you delete?
Wait, what?
Like if you could, anybody, if If you want to, Sherbo, which one would you delete?
A state, like a US state or like a country?
Let's do US states first, and then we can do countries after.
Wyoming.
I would probably say like Oklahoma or something, maybe.
Oh,
Not a huge fan of not a huge fan of Oklahoma for sure.
you're right, Amy. Gotta keep it a little spicy sometimes.
Yeah, but also I was just kind of showing here. So if you go to the hosting tab in Firebase, you can see a bunch of cool stuff about like you can see your release history. So oh wow, this is really cool. Like so if like you make some like huge mistake while editing your web app and you accidentally like deploy the wrong stuff and you need to go back, you can view all of your previous releases down here, and you can actually roll back to them if you need to. So yeah, that's really cool. And then also shows, I think by default, the free plans for Firebase give you 10 gigabytes of storage for your web app, which is a lot, honestly. Like if you're exceeding 10 gigabytes, like I don't even know what you're doing. Like that's some crazy stuff.
Nice. Very proud.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of it, right? I guess we can just wrap it up then. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming out and taking the time to learn a little bit about Firebase. We appreciate having you here. And yeah, make sure that you know, if you guys have any questions about Firebase stuff or you know, just in general, you can always message me or Shristi on Discord. Yeah.
We also have a wonderful team of mentors who are also probably familiar with some of it. And if not, there's always going to be someone always helping. So yeah. Yep. And this is also recorded. So if you want to go back through the steps, it will be on our YouTube channel.
Thank you guys so much.
Yep. Thanks, Max.
Thanks, Max.
Solid stuff, y'all.
I love your energy.